welcome to the channel. My name is Lauren. If you're new here, if you haven't had a chance to hit that subscribe button, please do it. It would mean so much to me. I am just doing a good old review today. We like to do a good review on this channel, but what's interesting is this is a collection that I've seen very few people review, and that makes me nervous and curious, but also I kind of understand. Okay, so what are we talking about today? We are talking about the newest launch from Melt Cosmetics. Now, I feel like Melt Cosmetics was on a high for a few years. Everyone loved them. They came out with some fantastic products, and then the mold hit. Yes, if you thought you misheard me, no, mold. People were finding quite a bit of mold in their products. Even now, you will see declutters where somebody is showing off their Melt palette and suddenly bam, mold. It's quite shocking and a little bit worrisome. Now, I have quite a few eyeshadow palettes from Melt. I don't have mold in any of mine, so that's good. But I do have a lip liner from them. It was a fantastic lip liner. It did grow mold, and I actually sent that to my friend Beauty and the Beaker here on YouTube to test it, and it's now growing some pretty funky stuff. So that's a little worrisome, but we are actually going to be talking about the newest collection from Melt. This is the Smoke Sessions 2 collection. We've got a palette, we've got a gel eyeliner, we've got something called a Metal Eyes that we're going to be taking a look at. And let me explain to you. I love purple so much, so much. So when I saw this palette, I was like, ooh, Melt, you got me with that one. Okay, it is so purple. It is, but so purple. And I love purple. And I really do have mixed feelings about Melt in general. I think a lot of what they come out with is excellent, but not all of it is the same. Especially with their eyeshadow palettes, I feel like they don't always use the same formula, and you can get a dud, or in some cases mold. I'm not sure what the mold is about. I don't think Melt is a clean brand. I may need to look that up, but you thought they used preservatives, so that's even more worrisome. Like, what is going on with their preservatives? But I've had good experiences with quite a few of their palettes. Their Gemini palettes are amazing. I have the Smoke Sessions palette that I don't use enough, mold-free. It's really good as well. And I wanted to try it out. I wanted to review it in case anyone else was interested in this palette. And then let me show you the other two products from this collection that I picked up. So the first one is I picked up the, let's see, their Reflect Gel Liner in the color Haze. Now, their gel liners are fantastic. That's one of those products that they come out with that is just really freaking good. Like, really good. And I use the black one all the time. I actually pulled it out recently and fell in love with it all over again, but this is in Haze. So this is a dark purple color, and again, we're on a purple theme, so I was not going to say no to that. The other item I picked up is the Sour Grape Duochrome Eyeshadow Gel. Metal Eyes. Okay, please don't mess up my nails that I just did. But this is what this one looks like. Oh, it's nice and sealed. Okay, we love a good sealed product. Let's break that seal. And this is that product. So it's definitely a gel. I'm not sure what we're going to do with it today, but we're going to try to use it, I think. I want to use it. It's pretty and it's purple, so I love that. So we are just going to do a look today. I don't think I'm going to do swatches of this palette. Should we just go in blind and see what happens? Yeah, let's just do it. I typically do swatches of everything, but I don't know. We're just going to go in blind. Now, just to go over prices in case you were curious about this collection before we get into the look, the palette, it retails for $48, so it better be good because that's basically $50, right? The gel liner retails for $22, and then the Metal Eyes retails for $26. So all in all, about normal for Melt's prices. And it's interesting. I'm glad that they actually use different packaging for the different products. I've definitely had some brands that use the exact same packaging and for this different products, and then I get confused. One example was a highlighter and a primer. No, highlighter and a concealer. And I thought the highlighter was the concealer. It was not. But let's go ahead. Let's just do a look Let's see what it looks like when I put it on my face and if it was worth picking up or if you should stay away from it. Let's go into Black Roses, which is this color here. I'm going to start by putting it kind of on my upper lid a little bit, but I don't even know how dark this purple is, so we're going to find out. That is one thing I noticed about this palette. It does run pretty dark. I wish there were just like a couple more, maybe lighter purples. I think that would help a little bit, but I mean, I do like a good dark purple, so I shouldn't be complaining at all. Now I'm going to do the same look on both eyes today. So if you see me fast forward through something, it's probably because I already did it on the other eye. But I was going to ask y'all, how do you like to see your... My cat is so cute. How do you like to see your... Oh, this is going a little bit patchy. So I'm all over the place today. I did prime my eyes with my Give Me Glow primer in the color Parchment. FYI. But how do you like to see your reviews? Do you want to see both eyes? Like, even if they're the same? Or does it only make sense to watch one eye? Like, how do you want to see me do my reviews? Because I would love to know. Huh. So it's a little bit patchy. I'm trying to like press it in a little bit more. It's the first color, come on, you can do it. Okay, that's a little bit better. I'm a little concerned now. That didn't go on super well. We're not off to a great start. Even on this eye, it is definitely a little bit patchy, but let's try a different color. Let's go into Purple Goo here. I am going to, what am I gonna do with this one? I think I'm going to see if it'll layer on top of the Black Roses color we just used. Oh, see, this color is working so much better. But this is one of their shimmers. The Black Roses was one of their mattes. Still, like, you want it all to work, especially when it's a smaller palette. You don't have a whole lot of choice, so you want everything to work really well. But I'm just kind of stamping Purple Goo into my crease a little bit and the edges. Fluff that out. See, that purple went on great. And again, I think that says a lot about their shimmer versus their matte formula. I mean, Melt is not known necessarily for having the best eyeshadow formula, but it's been really smooth and creamy in other palettes and easy to use. Matte though, in this one, that one in particular, the Black Roses color we used, this is just a first impression, so I don't want to, you know, completely poop on it yet, but that one didn't go on as great as I would have liked it to. One thing I am going to do is I am going to swatch Northern Lights. So this is Northern Lights, and then I want to compare it to this one, Monster Cookie. So these are the two that we are comparing. Are they similar? Wow. They are actually very, very similar. So they're not the same. One I would say is a little more cooler toned, but they are pretty close. A palette this size, did you necessarily need both these colors in particular? I don't know. I would say no, you would probably want something else. But we are going to use one of them, and I'm going to go into, I liked that Northern Lights was a little bit cooler toned. Let's go into Monster Cookie. I'm going to just kind of pat it in my crease. And let's stick it under the waterline too. I will say for shimmers, these are going on really great. Really smooth, really easy to use, but are they looking very similar? We are looking a little bit terrifying right now. That's okay. Let's go into this Sour Grape Duo Chrome Gel Shadow thing, and let's just put this right in the middle. Oh, it is very jelly. Wow. Okay, that is what it looks like. Let me swatch this one for you, because that's pretty cool actually. It's kind of a looser gel than I'm used to when you get kind of like duochromes like this. But it's also very reminiscent of the Danessa Myricks Chrome Flakes. But it actually does kind of disperse on your eyes a lot better with the finger than I feel like the Danessa Myricks Chrome Flakes do. My fingers are all purple. I like that there's quite a bit of blue to that because it kind of helps offset all the purple. The purples are kind of blending in together, if I do say so myself. So I kind of like that. I want to use one more color. So I'm going to go ahead and go into Martian Candy, this color on the end. And I'm going to just put that in the inner corner of my eye. And next what I want to do, I do want to do black liquid liner on my top lid, just because I'm worried that the purple liner will blend in too much. But I am going to use this purple liner on my bottom waterline. So we're going to see how that looks. So I never do my eyeliner on camera because I'm not that talented. I can't do it in a way where it looks like I know what I'm doing. Like my mouth is half open. I look confused a lot of the time. So I'm going to do this off camera really fast, and then we're going to come back together, talk about the Smoke Sessions 2 collection, at least the pieces that I picked up, and my feelings and my thoughts about them now that we've used them. Eyeliner and mascara is on, as well as some lipstick that I thought kind of fit the mood a little bit. Now that we're all done trying out this collection, let's talk about it. Let's talk about the Melt Smoke Sessions 2 collection. The palette. The palette is $48. The palette also only has 8 shades, and I feel like 2 of them are very similar and did not need to both be in this palette. And we're talking about Northern Lights and Monster Cookie. These are the 2 that I swatched earlier. They're very similar. I don't think they both needed to be in the palette. I think they could have done something else. I mean, if you wanted to go full grunge, they could have put a black in here or a purple so dark it was almost black. I think that's kind of what they were trying to do with Purple Punch, but I don't know. Yeah, no, that's exactly what they were trying to do with Purple Punch. What could they have done? I don't know. I still think they should have put in a lighter purple, like a lighter matte purple, like a good transition shade. I think that would have been really good. But also, I don't know, these mattes. We only used one of the mattes. We used Black Roses, but it was patchy. I tried to fix it. I spent some time that I probably cut out of the video trying to blend it out, trying to pat it in so it was more even. Did not get it to work for me. It just was very, very patchy. Now, I do like to preface this by saying this is a first impression, so I could have just been having a weird skin day. It happens, especially with my eyelids. They're oily most of the time, and then sometimes they're really dry. But for the most part, they're really oily. But you never know. It could be a weird, could be me. It could be me. So obviously I need to continue to play with this palette before having any sort of final thoughts on it. But I will say that color was disappointing. Now, I thought the shimmers were beautiful. They blended out really well. They were just like this sleek shininess without being like chunky shimmers, you know? It's just like smooth and effortless. And I think any of these shimmers are gonna look fantastic just by themselves, you know? You could just wear them one look and you're done. But there's too much similarity between these 2. The 2 that we used Purple Goo and Monster Cookie, these 2. And I don't know if you can really tell the difference on my eye. I have a hard time telling the difference, and I'm right here. We also used Martian Candy in the corner, and that one's really, really pretty. It's like a cool tone purple, which I love anything cool toned, and purple. Combination is great. Super, super pretty. I like how the shimmers look. I think they all look very similar. There could have been more to this palette. It's kind of a similar complaint that I had to the Ireland palette from Nomad. It just feels like there's not a whole lot of depth. And when the only depth you have is coming from a matte that I'm a little concerned about the quality of, you know, that's not great. Like, they need to work on their matte formula. Even swatching it, it's really dry. You can't always tell how an eyeshadow is going to perform from swatches, but it worries me. Like, this is how it's swatched. Oh God, how do I hold my hand so you can see this? Please tell me you can see this. This is how it's swatched. Still very dry, and you can't trust swatches, but just the feel of the eyeshadow is important. When it feels that dry, it's a little bit concerning to me. If you're asking would I recommend this, it kind of depends what you're gonna use it for. If you really, really like purple shimmers, I do think the shimmers in here are good, if not repetitive. So it's up to you if, you know, it's worth taking the chance on for those shimmers. We're gonna have to play with the mattes more. I only played with one, so we don't know, but that one was disappointing. For $48 for only 8 shades, I would want everything to work really well. And Melt's done it before, so I know they can do it. They just missed the mark, I think, with this palette in terms of consistent quality throughout the eyeshadows. And again, when you only have 8 eyeshadows in a palette, it's really easy to see the ones that aren't working quite as well. Now, the other 2 products that we played with the Metal Eyes Sour Grape Duochrome Eyeshadow Gel. And this one, I compared it to the Denisomyrix Chrome Flakes earlier, and I still think that's a fair comparison, but I actually like these a lot better than the Denisomyrix Chrome Flakes. I just found those so difficult to work with. It was really hard to break up the chrome so that it didn't look like you just had like flakes on your eyes. You know, you want a consistent kind of look with your eyeshadow. I do, at least. And in a lot of their promo pictures, they were able to achieve that, but I really was not. It was a little difficult, though I will say the Denisomyrix Chrome Flakes, they stay on for life. You never get rid of them. You will find them around your body for like 10 years to come. So we don't know the longevity of the Melt version yet, but I did like how these broke up on my eyes. It was actually really easy to disperse them on my eyelids just using my finger. I also really liked that it was really easy for me to apply my liquid liner on top of them. Sometimes with a product such as this, it's really metallic and like foiled, so liquid products do not lay on top of it. If it hadn't worked, I would have brought out my Melt Gel Liner, the black one, for my top lid, but I wanted to see how the liquid liner would play with these, and I was actually really impressed. I thought these were really good. And this is only one of the colors. It came out in 2 colors. I really needed the purple. We wanted the purple. Okay, next and last, the Haze Reflect Gel Liner. I think I said it was a dark purple. It is definitely not a dark purple. Just so you get an idea, let me swatch this on the back of my hand. I would say it's more like a light kind of grapey purple. I think you can probably deepen it up, but putting it on my bottom line was a little bit tricky, and I ended up getting it on my contacts. So the contacts came out. So I'm flying blind right now. But that is what the eyeliner looks like. Things don't stick quite as well on the bottom row. So this is another product I definitely want to play around more with. Use it on the top eyelid for sure, because I've used gel eyeliners from Melt. They're just so good. They're so good, and they last, specifically on the top lid. But I just thought it would kind of blend in with this look if I attempted to do it on the top lid today. It needs to stand out. I like a good, bright, purple gel liner, just like speaking for itself. Overall, a little disappointed with the way the palette turned out. Those mattes I think are gonna be not my favorites. I don't want to say not great because I haven't played with them enough to really say that with any sort of sincerity, but it disappointed from the first impression with those mattes. But I do like the shimmers. I thought they were just really soft, really easy to work with, really pretty, and the exact purples that I love playing with. The Duochrome eyeshadow gel, I was really surprised at how much I liked this. So I'm excited to continue to play with this to see how it works, use it in other looks. And same with the gel liner in Haze. Again, like, I have experience with their gel liners. I typically really like them. This was the first impression. It was a little lighter on my bottom lid than I would have liked, but judging by the swatch, I can deepen it up. So I'm gonna have to use it on my top lid to really understand the color, I think. I wanted to review this collection because I just hadn't seen a lot of reviews, and I love purple, and I love color, and I feel like color is making a comeback. No more neutral girl looks, more color, please. I need it in my life. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please let me know down below. I would love to hear from you. I will see you all in my next video. Bye!